Domain name system has a structure, because if you want to implement a domain name system, there has to be certain laid down rules. So in your web browser, you type certain website, and here you see you have a .com. It can be .org, it can be .net. So this .com is nothing but the top level domain. Okay. So this top level domain is generally, you will find it in the URL. In the web browser, whatever you type, this domain name comes from there. In this case, if you see, .com is where? Universal Resource Locator, whatever you type in, gives you the domain name, which is the rightmost. So the domain name is made up of multiple parts. So you can call them as labels. And this domain is a hierarchical structure. So this is read from right to left, and with each section denoting a subdivision. Okay. Top level domain, that is why we are calling it as .com, because it is on the rightmost. So the TLD, top level domain, it appears after the period in the domain name. For example, .com, this URL is having .com, but a URL can have .org. It can have .edu. These are all top level domains. So when you come here .com, and there are multiple servers, .com will have its own server, .edu will have its own server. So each label on the the left hand side of the TLD or top level domain denotes another subdomain of the domain to the right. So everything on the left of the right is actually the subdomain of the right. For example, in this www.example.com, example is the subdomain of .com. Okay, and www. Is the subdomain of example.com. So there can be up to 127 levels of subdomains. It is not just one which we know. It can be, this can go up to 127 levels of subdomains, and each label can have up to 63 characters. .com you cannot change, .edu you cannot change, but these subdomains, like for example this example is there, it can be Google, it can be some other thing. So the total domain character length can have up to 253 characters. Labels, which is laid down rules, labels do not start with a hyphen, and it cannot have all the numbers as numerals. That is, it cannot have entirely numeric TLD names. Therefore, whenever you type something like this, you get a proper directory structure from where your IP will come through domain name. So the IETF, the Internet Engineering Task Force, has specified the rules about implementing domain names in RFC 1035. So this whole criteria is used to actually find out the IP through this domain name. So this domain name structure needs to be known in order to get the IP from different servers.